Hello and welcome to the latest Craftmania Sunday Showcase. Today I'm going to share with you a brand new product that's just arrived in store. We're looking at a Pollyanna Pickering cd-rom. Now if you haven't come across Pollyanna Pickering before, she does amazing artwork of some of the most beautiful animals you've ever seen. Well, today we're looking at her birds collection on this cd-rom. Now if you've not come across a cd-rom before, they're great because on here this one actually gives you 620 different pages of printable images. And on them you get everything from inserts to decoupage to toppers to pyramage, the whole shebang. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off by actually having a little look around the disc so you can see what you're going to be receiving. So these are your different images that you can choose from. So we'll start off by loading this one down the bottom here. Now when it opens up, you have 61 different options that you can pick from, but I'll show you the first image on all of the different collections to begin with, and then I'll show you a little bit more of what you're getting. So for instance, that is number one, so you're going to get your lovely large pictures. You've got your tags, a few sentiments and a couple of other bits at the bottom. And then if we load up this one, this is where I've put all of the others. So this is another style of image that you're going to be receiving, and again you get 61 different options of what to do with this image. Moving across, we have a lovely owl, a little bit stormed, but we have a lovely beautiful owl. I love the texture she's managed to capture in his feathers. I think it's beautiful. Moving on, we have a few more, a bit more spring and summer. And then for our next image, we're back to the bad weather, sadly, but beautiful images to be used. Then we have a beautiful owl. Now you may recognise this one if you've had our Pollyanna Pickering kits before. We do kits in store if you don't wish to print them, and this is one of the images that you'll find on them. Then we have some beautiful kingfishers. This one's one of my favourites. You're going to notice as we go through today's Sunday Showcase that I use this one quite a lot. And then we have a more sort of general garden style theme. I thought this one would be quite nice for the men in your life if they do a little bit of gardening. Moving on, we have a beautiful peacock. Really love this image. I think this is beautiful. Now this is the one I'm going to show you a few more of the bits you get. So we're going to use the same image but show you out of the 61 options you have to use it, a few of the options that you've got. I don't want to keep you here all day, so we'll just show you how you can use this in different ways. So this one again gives you the same image, but you've got it in different circles, squares, rectangles, etc. with a few sentiments across the bottom. Number 3 on your file actually gives you some beautiful decorated frames. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see these, but I can show you them on the examples in a little while. It's the same image again, zoomed in and zoomed out for different styles, but a lovely effect. And of course, if you wanted to decoupage any of these, you can print multiple sheets and then layer the items you like. This one has a beautiful frame around it with a nice corner detail, again zoomed in and zoomed out. Then we move on a little. We've now got circles again, but we've also got tags and a gorgeous border. Now isn't that a lovely colourway to coordinate with the blues that you're actually receiving on your peacock? Moving on, we have a few more images, and we've got a few sentiment pieces as well. So if you don't want to do too much, it can just add on as a little addition. Moving on to number 7, we go on to the signature toppers. Now these ones are the ones that Pollyanna Pickering's actually signed her name to as well, which I think are quite lovely, and I've used one of these on the upcoming cards. Across from that we have the signatures, but we've got them in these lovely shapes instead, which are just so gorgeous. You could even layer a couple of them, couldn't you, to get different effects. Then we have a twisted pyramage, for any of you that like the pyramage effect. I thought this was quite a nifty one. And then we have a postcard. Now this is quite lovely because the idea is that you print the postcard back and the front, and then you can either use it as a postcard, or you could put some journaling in a scrapbook album maybe, or you could even attach it on a pocket on the front of your card so that once the person has had the beauty of the card, they could then actually use the postcard themselves. Then we have matching backgrounds. Now there are loads of background papers on here, absolutely hundreds of them, but this is one of my favourites and you'll see this used on our cards shortly. We then have a gorgeous floral one, but I love the way they've captured the texture in the background because when you print it, it actually looks more like a linen fabric. They then give you alphabet tiles. You get uppercase and lowercase, and the back colour here changes quite a lot through the different pictures. So you could of course make titles for your pages, or you could use these to spell happy birthday, or if you wanted to add the name or a different occasion to your card, these would be perfect for that too. If you don't want to do that, we of course have matching sentiments. Now the good bit with these is you know that they're colour coordinated to the image that you're choosing. And again, out of all of the different 10 bird images you've got, you'll get 10 of these, all in different colour schemes to coordinate with the bird you've chose to print. Lovely way to add a sentiment without any faff. So this is your posy box. This is the body for the short box. I'll show you the boxes and explain the short and the tall in a little while. But on here you actually receive 2 of the image, so you can print them out, and this will actually make the ring for your box. And then moving on, we have the base and the top. So this is actually the top of your box. Towards the bottom of the sheet you have the base. And they also give you these beautiful buttons that you could of course stick maybe on each one of those if you wanted to, or decorate your box, or you could of course make a coordinating card to go with your gift that would be in the box, which is quite a nice idea. Now if you don't like that colour scheme around it, we do have different options. This is moving on to the toolbox. So instead of having a pattern on the side, you have the lovely peacock image again. So another really nice way to use that image. And then we have the inside of the box. Again, I'll show you what that means in a little while, but it means that you've got a different colour to go underneath the top if you wish to use it in that way. Talking of the top, if you didn't like the colours on the sides on the first one I show you, they do give you a different pattern, and again you could print the background off of this to go on your card and then have the matching box to go with it. So everything is coordinated. They also give you a different design for the buttons and a different colour for the base as well to go with that one. Moving on, we have the decoupage sheet. So if you don't want to print the same sheet multiple times with all different pictures on it, you can just print these. And these give you, depending on the size, 6 or 8 of the image, or 4. Larger obviously or smaller, so it can depend on what you wish to layer, how many you're going to want. This is the same image, but this is one of the sheets that gives you 8 of it, so you're getting a smaller size. And then if we move on a little bit more, nearly to the end of this one, we have our card panels. Now these again I think are really beautiful if you want a simple quick card, but if you wanted to put a little bit more effort into them, you could of course cut out each layer, print them and layer them as they have, but actually do it properly instead of just as a printed image. And across the bottom we get some beautiful flowers that go with this colour scheme as well. Moving on, talking of flowers, they also give you these. Again, you get these in several shades, and you've got the lovely pointed flower, or you've got the rounded tipped flower. You've also got these lovely centres that you can cut out to them as well, and patterns on the bottom of them as well. Again, they come in several colours, and I have made some of these so I can show you them. This one, if you're wondering what's happening, we've got the upside down bubble at the top here. This is for if you want to print your card blank. So that will actually be the back of it, and then you can sign your name in there as well. And then this is your score line. And on the front you have this beautiful big oval image with its frame. Again, they do a couple of these, so you can have a really zoomed in effect like this one, or a zoomed out effect on your peacock, just to give you different looks. So that's basically what you're going to be receiving now. As I said again, just to make sure that you're understanding this bit, I've shown you all of the different images in the peacock set, but there are all of these images in them styles for everyone you want to pick. And all you do is just on the side here is pick the number of the bird you wish to go to and load the image. Simple as that, and then print. That will just take a second to load because we're overwhelming my poor computer today with all these beautiful images. But as you can see, you then have another image. So in total, you've got 620 different things you can print off from this. So let's have a little look at what I've done with a few of them. So we'll start off with this one. This is our beautiful peacock card, and I've used the same sentiment printed off of the computer as well. Along the side here, I've used some of our mesh. Now if you haven't seen our mesh before, this is a beautiful product. Comes in all of these colours. It's quite inexpensive. I'll show you this one because it's my favourite. This one's a black edge with a silver inlay, and they're only £1.35 a sheet. So with these you've got the black and silver, the magenta, the blue, the gold, the red, the solid black, the green, the lilac and the solid silver. And of course you can not only cut them into strips, but you could also cut pieces out of them and turn them into frames. Again, very good for scrapbooking, brilliant for Christmas as well. A little bit cheaper than buying gems, and I think they give a really nice effect. So on the side of this card I've also used one of our dies. Now I've used an edgeable die, which normally means that you can cut it into the top of your card and it will stay on your card. But instead of that, I've cut it out and attached it to my blue piece of card each side. All I've done with that is just taken a glue pen and some gold and blue glitter to decorate it. Now I really like this die, it's one of our sale ones. They're normally $9.99, we only have limited stocks but they're only $5.99 at the moment. So if you do want one of these, do get it in the comments and we'll get that held for you as well. Same with everything we show you today. You can have any of it held for collection in store or of course posted to you. We do now accept PayPal, so we can even post it to you nice and simply with no fuss. Moving on to your next card, we'll have a little look at this one. Now this is one of the smaller images that I've actually cut out and layered. So we've got a couple of layers here with our gorgeous birds in the rain. In the back here, I've used an embossing folder. I've gone for one of our 5x7 folders. This one's $7.99, but it's a beautiful deep impression, well worth the money. And one of them patterns that I think just comes in for any occasion. Do it in gold for Christmas, brown for this, anything you wish, just matches in lovely. Moving across to our next card, we're going to go for one of them beautiful owl ones. Now this is using one of the signature toppers with the gorgeous frame. In the back here we have the blue pattern paper that I show you, and behind that, I didn't show you this, but this is one of my favourites. This is the ornate ironwork paper, and I've got this printed out in a few colours, so I'll show you them in a little while, but it's one of my favourites. I love that style. And then we'll move on to the next card. Now this one again is with our kingfisher. I told you earlier that this is one of my favourites, so it does feature quite heavily. This has got that beautiful frame round it for the image, and then this panel here is actually one of the box panels, and I've just scored it at every ½ centimetre, punched across the top with our scallop border punch. We use this one quite a lot. It's $7.99 and ever so easy to use, and then I've just folded it back and forth to make our little fan corner. Nice and simple. In the background here I've got one of our linen papers. This is actually a printed paper, and so is the one on top. There are again options that you have to print in many colours. Then moving over, we will have a look at our next kingfisher card. Now this is using one of them large card fronts, which the idea was you just scored it and used it as your card. But I quite like the idea of cutting it out and using it as a topper instead. Around the side of this I've used one of our border peel-offs. Now if you haven't seen these before, they're only 69p. They come in gold, silver, white and black. But they're a beautiful large corner, and I just felt it matched in quite nicely with the scroll work on our printout. They also give you the border bits too, so I managed to make up my frame with those ones. On the top here we have a lovely happy birthday stamp. Now you may not have seen this because I haven't yet shared these on Facebook, but they're a new sentiment stamp that's come in store. And on here you get quite a lot for your money. It's only $5.99, but you've got birthday wishes, baby boy, best wishes, happy birthday, baby girl, with love, thank you, thanks, so sorry, thinking of you, warm wishes, well done, hello, good luck, just for you, get well soon, and miss you. So that's quite a little bargain for only $5.99 for all of them, and gives you so many options of what you could pop on your cards. Moving on to our next one. Now this is one of my favourite images. It's our beautiful owl in the rain. Owls have become very popular since the sort of introduction of Harry Potter, haven't they? So a beautiful card that I'm sure you could send to many people. In the back we have another of my favourites of the background papers. Again, this comes in many colours, so if you don't like the blue, I'll show you a couple of others in a little while. But all I've done is just matted and layered different pieces and tiled it together. On the base here we've got another one of the stamps that come off of that set I just read out to you, the $5.99 one. And around the edge I've used this big bubble stamp. That comes on another set of stamps at $7.99. We've shown you that quite a few times because I really like this too. But you get different bits on that one. You get some more text and a typewriter and all sorts of things. Moving on to our last card of today. We have another kingfisher card, and here we've got the flowers that I show you on the computer. These have been printed out and layered. And the kingfishers themselves have also been printed out a couple of times and layered. Around the edges of this I've used a lovely scroll die. Bring those over to show you. So in that set you get all three of the dies for $13.49, and I've just used that one and that one to make up my piece up here. On the front here we also have one of the sentiments that you can print off to the matching colours to go with your kingfishers. And in the side we have a lovely little verse that comes on with the same set of stamps as what that frame did on the owl one. Beautiful little verse there. We also have an on the edge die used here. This one is available in store, it's only £11. And on our back layer, this is something I actually quite like, is a little bit of lace. Now the lace I've used for this is our knitting in lace. If you haven't seen it before, We do it in store in loads of colours, and as the name may have given away, it's designed that you knit through it and it'll all ruffle up. It's also good if you want to thread a ribbon through it and it'll pull it and tie it and it'll all ruffle up too. Or like on my card, I've simply cut the lace in half so you're getting twice as much for your money and glued it under my panel there. The lace is only 60p a metre, and as I say, comes in so many colours, you've got so many options for that. Now moving on, we're going to talk about your boxes. We mentioned your boxes when I show you them on the screen. So this is one of the tool images for the box, with again the top on it, and I told you that it said something about an inside lid. That's so that you can have the lid slip down inside the box with a different pattern, so when you take it out, you've got another pattern to see as well. So that's the tall box. We then have the short box. Now this one I've done the other way round so that the base is just fitting into the same size as the top of the box. And again we have that edge round it that we could have added the buttons to, but instead I went for a nice ribbon and bow. So aren't they beautiful? Wouldn't they match so well to give your gift in there to match your matching card? Lovely little set. So let's talk about your disc. The disc itself, as I say, does print 620 images, and I have printed a few of these off to show you. So I'm going to show you this one. This is a large image of our same flower birds that I show you on that card. We then have them shorter and smaller. We then have some kingfishers, and we have the large printouts of the signature, the same as the one over there. And we have one of the card panels as well, just to show you how easy these are to print out. Now a lot of people tend to ask us what we print our images on, so I thought I would show you that too. And not only will I show you this, I can tell you a little bit about it. This is our 50 sheet pack of 180 gram card. Now because this is a Sunday showcase, of course there is an offer in it as well. So this week's offer is if you buy the disc for $14.99, you'll actually receive a pack of the paper completely free. But you do only have this week to purchase it. The paper is worth $3.99, and if you're going to be printing quite a lot, you may be wanting to get some more inks for your printer. We also own a computer store which has been very nice at supplied our paper for us for this offer this week. It's called A.b.computers and it's opposite our Yarmouth store. Literally walk out the doors and it's across the road. They do loads of inks. They specialise in Epson inks, and they start as cheap as £7 for a set of 6. So depending on your printer, you may want to give them a call. Their telephone number is 01493 332272, and I'm sure they can quote you for whatever inks, for whatever brand of computer and printer you have got. So that is our offer for today. As I say, that is only valid for this week only, so it expires at 5 p.m. on Saturday the 10th of September. So if you do want to get in quick, we do have a limited number of the discs. We can order more, but get your orders in quickly in the comments and we'll have them held for you. Thank you so much for watching today. I look forward to seeing you all next week when we do our next Sunday showcase. Bye for now.